Hey guys, my name is Narcotics, and I'm going to teach you guys how to play Subtlety Rogue for the Mists of Pandaria 5.4 patch. So before I start, I want to share my experience with you guys. I've been playing Rogue for 6 years. I started at a very young age, so I was never very good, and I never gave much thought to the game. I just had a lot of fun grinding through it. Up until Season 9, where I transferred and I got a thirst for PvP. Since then, I've been 2200 in 3s and RBGs. My current ratings right now are 2225 in RBGs, 2154 in 5s. In 3s, it's around 2k-ish. It's always floating around there. I've been 2150, or 2133 highest this season. And 2s are troll. So, with that, let's get started. So, in this guide, some things that I'm going to go over are stat priorities, basic openers, rotations, and sometimes when to run, and glyphs and talents. So first I'm going to start off with the glyphs and talents. I'm going to go over them and give a little brief description. Some of them are really in-depth, like Subterfuge, and has many uses. I'm going to make further videos more in-depth on that, but let's get started. So for the level 15 talents, we have Night Stalker, Subterfuge, and Shadow Focus. Night Stalker increases your movement speed while stealth by 20% and increases the damage you deal while you're stealthed by 50%. Subterfuge, it allows you to keep your stealth for 3 seconds after receiving damage or dealing damage. And Shadow Focus reduces the cost of your abilities by 75% while you are in stealth. For the second level 30 tier, we have Deadly Throw, Nerve Strike, and Combat Readiness. Deadly Throw isn't really used much in PvP due to the better options of Nerve Strike and Combat Readiness. Nerve Strike can be used in RBGs and 3s. It's probably more used in RBGs due to its peel potential of a lot of the powerful DPS at endgame right now. And Combat Readiness is the Rogue Shield Wall, which it gives you a buff when you activate it, which stacks up to 5 times, and every stack is 10%, up to a maximum of 50%, 5 stacks. When glyphed, or when combined with the next tier, which is we are always going to take Elusiveness over Leeching Poison and Cheat Death, because this is probably the only viable option in PvP right now for rogues on the level 45 talent. Cheat Death works, but it is a lot more useful to have Elusiveness because you can proc, or you can predict a burst, and if you feint it properly, you will survive it, or you'll have a better time, or your healer will have a better time helping you survive. For the next tier, we have level 60. We have Cloak and Dagger, Shadow Step, and Burst of Speed. I took a break when Cloak and Dagger came out, and I heard it was really broken with the Shadow Dance, so I never got to experience that. But as of right now, it only works while you're in stealth, or let's say coming out of Subterfuge, and it allows you to get right behind your target up to 40 yards away. That's a really long range, but the only downfall is that is your only mobility, and you can only use that while you're stealth, which will cost you a Vanish, which is a very important cooldown. It works really well out of Subterfuge, just to peel. We're going to be taking Shadow Step. Shadow Step is, you could say, more utility based. It does the same thing as Cloak and Dagger at a shorter range, but it's also a two-way, because you can step back to a healer to get yourself out of danger, or to an FC or a DPS that you're trying to kill to get up in their face for a stun. The other option is Burst of Speed. Burst of Speed is really good in RBGs, I think, more or less than Arena, because in Arena your main objective is to kill the other opposing team, but Burst of Speed costs energy, and energy is really important for a rogue to have. So the more energy you have as a rogue, the better, but the utility that it provides in RBGs is really good. For level 75 talents, there is Prey on the Weak, Paralytic Poison, and Dirty Tricks. We usually use Prey on the Weak. That's what gives us a lot of damage also during our stuns. It buffs our entire team with a 10% buff debuff Everybody else does 10% more damage to your target, which is really good in RPGs when you have everybody focus firing somebody. Paralytic poison is another poison you can use. It provides a lot of control, and the shiv effect is really good since you don't really have a root. It's really random. Sometimes it can DR with itself, or sometimes it can be really useful. At the end of a kidney, it might proc and be lucky, but it's really up to personal preference. I would say either run with Prey on the Weak or Paralytic. Dirty Tricks is more or less an assassination talent, I think, and we won't be covering that in this guide. And for the level 90 tier, we have Shuriken Toss, Mark for Death, and Anticipation. Anticipation allows a maximum of another 5 combo points after you've got 5 on the target. So a maximum of 10, you could say, for a double eviscerate, or to use slice and dice eviscerate. We don't really use this in our PvP. We usually use either Mark for Death or Shuriken Toss. Mark for Death has proved to be a little more viable, just for all the situations it could be used for, more or less than Mark for Death, which is it's a big energy dump with 40 energy. But Mark for Death, you can be running away. You can have just survived a burst, and you can Mark for Death recuperate, a full kidney to peel. There's just so many uses. A very big part of a burst combination I'm going to show you guys, and that's about it for the talents. So now we're going to go over the glyphs that a Subtlety Rogue uses. For your first major glyph, you want Glyph of Blind. Glyph of Blind removes all dots on the target when it is applied that would otherwise cause the blind to break. Glyph of Garrote for your second major glyph. Glyph of Garrote increases the duration silence of your Garrote by 1 second. And for your last glyph is Personal Preference, but some of the most common used are Hemorrhaging Veins, which allows your damage buff, Sanctuary Veins, to be applied through Hemorrhage, no longer only Rupture and Garrote. I also like to run Cheap Shot sometimes. It used to be a lot better when it was 1 second, and it was really stable back then because 1 second is a lot of difference in a Subtlety Rogue's rotation due to giving us time to regen energy. Another glyph that people might use in Arena is Recovery. It's really good actually. While you have Recuperate active, you receive 20% increased healing from other sources, so that can really help you out a lot in Arena if you find yourself getting trained. For the minor glyphs, all of them really don't make a big of a difference except for Blurred Speed. It allows you to walk on water. That's everything you really need. Everything else is personal preference. Decoy just shows up a little clone of yourself, I guess, when you vanish, so it kind of throws them off, and Poison allows you to apply your poisons faster. So if you get caught inside of an arena or RPG without a poison in the middle of a fight, it's a lot faster than sitting there for an extended period of time than you need to. For your stat priorities, you always want to obviously go into agility and stamina, nothing else. Those are your primary stats. The secondary stats on the gear, you want to go into crit and mastery, and you can also, for your gems, you can put PvP